The Hill reported on a new corruption scandal that's getting no coverage in mainstream media. The Trump's New York hotel saw a boost in business thanks to visit from Saudi prince. So I referenced this earlier. Let me give you some more information. Trump International Hotel in Manhattan saw a sharp increase in revenue during the first quarter thanks in part to a visit from Saudi Arabia's crown prince. The hotel's general manager wrote in a May 15th letter obtained by the Washington Post that revenue from room rentals surged 13% in the first 3 months of 2018 after 2 years of decline, and that gain was due in large part to a visit from Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Saudi government officials told the Post that neither Salman nor any of his official travel guests stayed at the Trump Hotel due to the room sizes being too small, please. However, the hotel's general manager wrote in the letter that due to our close industry relationships, we were able to accommodate many of the accompanying travelers. A 5-day stay from several guests accompanying the Crown Prince was enough to boost the hotel's earnings for the entire quarter, according to the Post, which noted that neither the Trump Organization nor the Saudi embassy would say whether Saudi Arabia's government had paid for any of the guests. Yeah, of course they did. What kind of a fucking point is that? So, let's be clear about what's happening here. They did this once before, they're doing it again. They overpay on purpose. They overpay to try to buy favorable policy from Donald Trump and the U.S. government. And they get it. So, Saudi Arabia recently got over a $100 billion weapons deal from us. Trump used to talk about how Saudi Arabia was responsible for 9/11. Now, he loves giving them money and weapons. Because they let Trump know, hey man, we're going to make it worth your time, bro. We're going to make it worth your time. You understand? So, the last time it was $300,000 they gave him to stay at the hotel. Now I don't know. They don't give the exact number here. But if it boosts your profit 13%, that's nothing to scoff at, son. So this goes hand in hand with emoluments. This right here goes hand in hand with the emoluments conversation. So there's allegations that Donald Trump is violating the emoluments clause of the Constitution, and that clause basically says that a U.S. president cannot materially profit from other foreign governments. And there's a very straightforward reason for that. If you're profiting from foreign governments, you're going to craft U.S. policy to serve those governments. So you're not going to be crafting U.S. policy to serve the American people. And a court ruled that there's merit to that case. A court ruled that there is merit to that case. And in fact, 2 courts, I think. So it's proceeding through. It's going through the court proceedings as we speak. So that's good because I think that emoluments should get way more coverage than the Russia scandal, for example. Because I think this is so much more real. Aspects of the Russia thing are real. So don't get me wrong on that. Some parts of it are real. I think a lot of it is overblown. Here, I think the worst possible interpretation is the correct interpretation. The harshest interpretation of Trump on emoluments is the correct interpretation. So hopefully media can stick to this. They won't do it because nobody can argue he's not profiting from foreign governments. He is. He didn't divest. And there's a giant conflict of interest. And to point that out is beyond obvious.